And welcome back. As we mentioned, we're 2 months and 5 days into the new year. So are those resolutions that you made now a thing of the past? Lifestyle expert Stephanie Walters is here with some ways to restart and rededicate ourselves to the goals that we set for ourselves 2 months and 5 days ago.
2 months and 5 days. I cannot believe we're in March. So good morning.
I know. Good morning. Good to see you. You're going to help us today with our mind, our body, and our soul.
Yes.
So I like that.
Yes.
So where do we start? Because it's so easy to get off track when we make resolutions.
It is, and I've talked to a lot of people, and some people have kind of like fallen off the wagon because it seems like January and February were such long months. So I'm like, okay, let's refocus and let's start off with your mind. So the first thing you want to do is just get some really good books to read. That's kind of like it sounds easy, but really making time to read these books. So I've got some great options for you to read. If you're interested in losing weight, we have a book called The Last 10 Pounds. I feel like everybody's always struggling with those last 10 pounds. It's by author Tasha Turnbull, and she's taking you through her experience losing over 100 pounds and how to keep those last 10 pounds off.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's a good one. And then we have Faith It Till You Make It. That's kind of a big deal when you're talking about capturing your goals. It's because, you know, sometimes you just got to walk on faith, and that's by author Erica Diaz. And then we have another book that I think you all are going to have a picture for that by an author that's here locally called Adulting, kind of like what do I do in life? It's by author Carmen Jones, and it's just like what happens when you become an adult. You know, you have to start paying bills, you have kids, life gets crazy, how do I maintain? So
I need to read that even at this stage of the game.
And you're never too old to read those, so I feel like those are good ways to kind of get your brain going and get back on track to actually focus on your goals.
And make time for yourself and do something positive.
Yes, make time. And then also another thing to go along with these, get creative. So these are just some jars that we've gotten, and we created some little sticky notes that you can put in as in like thankful and gratitude. So for instance, I saved money for my vacation.
Okay, I'm going to put that
and
one.
You can
Is
like
that what
roll
we do with these?
Yeah,
oh,
and actually, you can roll them up and put them in the jar.
I want it to be the whole jar.
The whole jar. Save money for vacation.
Okay, so we're going to roll this up.
Yep, roll it up and put it in the jar. And then this one. Lost 3 pounds last week. This is always a good one that you want to see. So you just roll it and then you stick it in the jar like this. And these are kind of just ways to, you know, show your gratitude and show how grateful you are for your accomplishments. And it kind of keeps you on track. I keep one of these by my kitchen, so I always like remember to look at it and to add something to it.
And so visualizing is a good way of doing things.
Make
okay,
it visible.
I thought you were going to tell us to drink more water.
Well, you know what? You can use that as water as well.
Okay.
And speaking of water, we've got things to help like our body, which is, I know a lot of us might not get enough water in our system. So we've got a thing called Bottle Fresh, and it actually keeps your reusable bottles fresh. Really, it does what it says. So you put a tablet in your water bottle, and it just for 30 minutes, and it gets it fresh. You know, sometimes if you leave it in your car, or things just kind of get a little funky.
We don't clean it as well as we should.
So it should help you. Same thing for your Keurigs, like your coffee. You should clean those regularly. Washer and dryer. These are just little steps that you can take to actually progress throughout your goal journey here. Another thing for food. A lot of times we're on the go. I didn't eat breakfast this morning. That was my fault. But if I had had this, I would have been able to do that. So these are things you can prep at night. You put your smoothies in here. Underneath here is your blender. You blend it in the morning. Take this off and put your top on, and you can go.
And we're gone.
You're gone. And I love this because you can really pre-prep this.
And pre-preparation is so important these days because it really does save time.
Yeah, that is the key. And then another thing to help you pre-prep, the Vidalia Chop Wizard. This helps you chop your vegetables. So I like this because you can actually take this to work, or you can pre-chop and put everything in there before you go to work. You just chop it, and all your vegetables are good to go. So no excuse to not eat healthy.
So when I'm sitting at my desk chopping vegetables, nobody's going to
look at you crazy.
I like that.
And then we also have meals on the go. Munk Pack has these great like fruit squeezes, and you can just twist off and eat them. So if you're like traveling a lot, you're on the go, this is perfect for you for who has a busy lifestyle and keeps you on track, especially with your fitness goals.
And help us control what we're eating.
Yes, portion control is your key. And then we were just talking, this is one of the hottest items.
It really is,
for
the air fryer.
Christmas, and now we've got it here, the air fryer. So if you still want that crunch of fried food, because fried food is amazing, but you don't want the calories, you can have this air fryer. This is another way. This is by Krups. It's a 2-in-1 air fryer, and so this is another way to kind of stay on track with your goals. If you've fallen off the fitness wagon, you can say, hey, you know what, I want to start changing. I want that crunch, but let me do this in a less caloric way.
And a healthier way. I like that. And as you can see, no oil.
No oil. bills. And then lastly, we have stuff for your soul, which I think is really important for that internal thing. And then it also kind of jogs your memory as well. So I think it's really important for self-care. So we've got some all natural like face masks, so you can put your face mask on and just, you know, read a book. And these are stuff like this is important because you need to spend time with yourself and just have that self-care. A lot of times we get so mentally drained that we just forget like what's going on in life. So that'll help you reach your goals. And then one of these things it's great to keep by your door to go from work. Sometimes I might forget my phone or might forget my, you know, water container or keys. Keep one of these trays by the door because it helps you remember everything that you need to have in the morning. If you need to do something with the kids, put a note in that. And then lastly, your actual, your calendar that you're going to put together. So for instance, Monday morning, we wrote Virginia this morning, so we don't forget. You can put that on your refrigerator. Friday, we wrote payday, so you won't forget that it's payday. These are just ways that you can really get in touch with yourself and keep track of your goals throughout the new year.
Because January 1st is such a great empty calendar, a way to start, but March 5th can be a starting point too.
It can, and don't be scared to you know, start over again. It's okay as long as you're continuing on and progressing. It doesn't matter when you start as long as you're progressing and reaching your goals.
And because we've got mind, body, and soul, we don't want to forget any of those elements.
At all. Like it's really, really important. So make sure if you can tack all three of these and even just start with one step and it'll help you matriculate throughout the year. It's
we
never
don't have to do it all one day.
You don't have to do this all one day. Don't panic if you can't, you know, go out and buy a book, a blender, and, you know, a calendar all in one day. Baby steps.
Well, grab a book, make a smoothie, and sit back and
with your
just
face
relax
mask
with your face mask on and enjoy the day. Stephanie, thank you so much
You're
for joining
welcome.
us today. And we'll be right back with more Live Virginia this morning.
Here's today's James River